Welcome back to WolfQuest Anniversary Edition, Rise of the Bear Fangs, with Arctos, Viper, and the rest of the pack, who are apparently leaving without us to go hunting. I'm gonna go with them. Anyway, in the last episode, we ended up moving from the den to the rendezvous site, which I'm probably still gonna accidentally call the den at several points, like I always do, but we are at the rendezvous site now. Our pups have reached about 20 pounds each. Some of them a little bit more. Little Fang is, of course, a little bit smaller than all her siblings. Sitka was sick in the last episode, but did manage to recover. Now Echo is sick. So we do need to keep an eye on her while we're at the rendezvous site, just to make sure that she's able to get into the grass when predators come, because she will be a little bit slower than her siblings until she gets better. She will get better eventually, because we do have sickness turned off for Arctos. But yeah, she's going to be a little bit extra vulnerable while she's ill. So right now we are looking for food, though. As I noted at the end of last episode, we're a little bit low on food, so gotta find something to hunt. Looks like there is an elk herd, the whortleberry herd, over here. So I think we're probably going to head toward that. I honestly don't know what stage of the year we're at. I guess that we're at the stage where the calves and fawns are up and running, so I don't suspect that we're going to find any of those in the grass. Let's see. Okay, still following the trail of the whortleberry herd. It's getting rainy, there's thunder and lightning. Hopefully this isn't an ill omen for the hunt. We do have the entire pack here, I believe. Yes, Arctos, Viper, and all 4 of their surviving pups from the previous litter, which does mean that we're going to need to kind of make sure that we don't take too long in hunting, because that affinity will be dropping faster than it would if we had left one of the pups, or possibly Viper, to babysit at the rendezvous site. So thankfully we are able to find the trail of the whortleberry herd, and I'm going to follow it until we find the herd. Actually, where are we? We are in a 50% hex. We might as well howl and rally. That's going to both boost our claim on this territory hex, as well as give us some more stamina when we do catch up with the herd. Okay, rally complete. Rally complete, and I lost the trail. Oh, they kind of turned around here and went back the other direction. That's interesting. Alright. So I am jumping back into recording this after, again, another 3-week gap of not recording. I've been super busy with work, but we've finally reached the end of our super busy season. So I should be having more time to record and more time to edit videos, and you should be seeing more of Arctos, Nat, and Lita, I suspect. Lita is going to be a little bit, I kind of want to get back into the practice of playing WolfQuest and kind of knowing kind of intuitively how much health that our wolf has and that our pups have, because that is going to be really dangerous for her in particular. But thankfully for Arctos, we're not doing any kind of challenge that restricts us seeing his health or the health of his pups. So we're able to just kind of play as normal with him. Let's see, Viper and honestly all of our pups seem to have chosen this elk calf to go after. The mother is not doing a great job of defending it so far, honestly. I doubt that one elk calf is going to be sufficient to feed all of us, but it does seem like we've almost got this one. Come on, guys. You can do it. Okay. One down. Oh, we're in rival territory. I didn't even notice. Okay, so this is the Geode pack. And, I mean, I don't really want to give up the food that we just hunted, so I am going to try to chase them off, I think. It looks like our pups are kind of jumping right into it and fighting them without hesitation. I don't like the branches going after bear. Sorry, by the way, about my keyboard. I suspect that the clicking will be a little bit louder in this episode because I do have the microphone volume turned up, so I don't have to kind of shout. I was having to talk really loud in the previous episodes, and currently my partner has some people over for D&D, so shouting is not in the cards today. So we're going to have a little bit more clicking of the keyboard, and I think I just bumped the mic. It is what it is. Okay, how are our pups doing? They're still pretty okay. I'm not super concerned. So Knight of the Geode Pack, not to be confused with Knight of the Cottonwood Creek that I also named Knight, as we discovered in the last episode. Looks like she is about ready to flee. I don't actually... Yeah, Knight's a female, and then it does look like maybe one of their yearlings is here? Yeah, one of their yearlings who, I'm gonna call Chalk. Alright. Okay, we've got him on the run. A little bit of a moment of confusion there while I tried to figure out which, was the wolf that I was trying to name. Is this the... Okay, that's a chunk of meat. I think we already ate the carcass. Goodness gracious. Yes, we are gonna howl with our pups and find a place to put a scent post. That rock looks good. That looks like a sturdy rock. Alright, no more geode pack. I can't talk. Alright, no more geode pack here. This is our territory now, and, yeah, we do want to finish this meat off. But that's not gonna quite do it. Flame is full on food, but none of the rest of the pups are, and Viper and Bear in particular need a little bit extra food, so we're going to keep hunting. And maybe try not to go into the Geode Pack territory, but yeah, I hadn't actually even noticed that we'd left our own territory. Okay, Viper, that's a choice. Yeah, hun, I don't know if she's actually that weak. She's really not. And I mean, if we chase her for long enough, we could probably take her down, but as I mentioned earlier, the affinity is actually draining pretty quickly, so I think that we're just going to go after another calf. I don't think we really have time to go after a cow elk right now, especially since I don't really want anyone getting any more hurt than they are. So yeah, it's going to be a calf. Probably this calf, given how it's falling behind. Poor thing. Is its mother even? Oh, there she is. Okay. Gonna run mother interference, just kind of get a little bit between her and our pups as they try to hunt this elk calf. This is not really their best strategic moment. They're kind of just charging in there and getting kicked. Finn, you... Okay, now I just charged in there and got kicked. That was silly. Alright, well, we've pulled it off. The pups have pulled it off entirely by themselves, basically. Hopefully Bear will get a little bit of this carcass, and hopefully Viper will get a little bit of the carcass as well. I'm not as concerned about Arctos. Looks like we might finish this one off, too. Everyone but Finn has full food. I might have Arctos take a little bit more, but then I'm probably going to leave the rest for Viper and Finn. Alright, so we've completely consumed that carcass. And looking at Arctos' HP and looking at kind of the affinity, I don't want to keep hunting right now. I want to go back to the rendezvous site. So off we go with our bellies not entirely full, but it'll have to do for now. Okay, we're cutting a little close on the affinity, but I do see the pups' names, so we're not too far away. We'll be able to get back in time before they come out of the grass. That's definitely something that I need to be keeping an eye on if we're going to be taking everyone with us. I usually leave at least one behind to watch over the pups, but everybody seemed to want to come along on the hunt, and I decided, you know what, family outing. But we are back. Echo, of course, is taking a little bit of time to come out of the grass due to her sickness. But we'll make sure she gets food. In fact, it looks like all of her siblings will make sure that she gets food. Well, Flame was over there. What are you doing? She's like, I needed to mark this specific part of the territory. It was urgent. Alright, Echo, here you go. Now hopefully we will be able to get most of our health back. Yeah, Arctos did get pretty injured, honestly, in that fight with the Geode Wolves. And then me deciding to get stomped on by an elk. Echo is going for these really far away food patches, so let's just kind of help her out. How's everybody else doing? Lil Fang is full, Oakley's full, and Sitka is full, and kind of wandering a little bit. Come Come on, bud. Gotta stay by the rendezvous site. I will have Arctos stay here and spend a little bit of time with Echo, just to see if she can recover a bit faster. Okay. Now she is full as well. That should leave the rest of our pack mates to clean up some of the regurgitated food. And Oakley, where are you going? All of the pups do have kind of like their little baby version of their adult coat now. And in a few more pounds, they'll actually be basically little adults. Not, you know, not really, but the model changes to the adult model for the most part. Okay. We spent a little time with Echo, we have fed all of the pups, and now we're going to get some rest. As soon as everybody's kind of in the vicinity of the grass, it does look like Oakley and Sitka both decided to wander over to their mom over there. Oh, and now Oakley's ill as well. I just said in the last episode how she was the only one who hadn't gotten sick, and lo and behold, now she's sick. Man, Arctos is not having good luck with the sickness this litter. All of the pups are hungry again, and there's coyotes somewhere. Where are the coyotes? Last time, coyotes crept up on us, and I didn't see them until they were almost at the den, and I think this is going to be similar. Okay. Alright. Thankfully, our pups did spot them and start to go in that direction, which scared them off. We don't have much more food for the pups, so I think that's probably... Oh, well, the pups have a little bit more food. The yearlings have a little bit more food that they can give to the pups. The pups have more food to give to the pups. It's confusing. Imagine when we're up to 3 generations, then I'll really be lost. I have enough trouble in like my personal files keeping track of who's in what litter. It's gonna be a struggle. Easy when some of them are little itty bitty wolves and some of them are like basically full grown, but not gonna be as easy when we've got, you know, 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and 1-year-olds and fresh little baby pups. Thankfully that won't be an issue for a little bit still. Oh my goodness, I don't like how sick poor Echo is. If anything were to come by, like any predators, I don't like to think about that. Thankfully, I mean, obviously there were just coyotes, but when you have kind of a medium-sized pack like this, the coyotes don't tend to be too much of a threat. As compared to like bears in the saga, I have found to be a much bigger threat. You can't just run around them and growl anymore. And honestly, bears are like the one thing that scares me once the pups get kind of into the growing pup phase, is they will no longer pick up your pup and do a little tiny damage as they like carry them away. They will just straight up attack them, and they can kill them in like 2 hits. So yeah, bears, yikes. Hi, Sitka. Okay, let's kind of take inventory of what we need. We could use some more food. We could stand to reinforce some of these hexes up here. Let's see. I might take Finn and Flame and go hunting again. You know, assuming they'll come with me and not just kind of decide to stay behind. Let's see. I'm just choosing them because they have the lowest hunger. Okay, looks like that worked out. So, let us find something to hunt. I'm gonna head up in the direction of the hexes we need to mark, and hopefully we'll find something while we're up there. Oh, there's food. Okay. We can take down this fawn, and maybe that'll give us a little bit of food. Not gonna be everything we need, but food is food. I'm hoping that Flame and Finn will kind of get in there and do some of the biting, since Arctos is still a little bit weakened from the previous day. Oop, sorry to kind of spin the camera around there. I was trying to make sure that the mother didn't kick our yearlings, but, okay, let's get a little bit, oh, wow, camera's doing weird things as we try to bite this fawn. I was hoping we could kind of get an idea of what its health is, and whether we kind of need to, nope, Flame did it basically by herself, okay. Alright, yeah, we'll let them eat that, they earned it. Finn, bud. Okay. Well, a little bit too slow, so Viper's gonna finish that up. I did notice that it looked like Finn was kind of the last to finish eating the previous time as well, so that's interesting. I will be really glad when Arctos can get, like, Knowing Nose. I really like that perk because it lets me know if I'm actually close to the elk herd or if they're still, I don't know, 1,600 meters away. We're picking up these scents, but they're not super strong and there's not a lot of them, so we could just be kind of heading in a direction that I think the wind just shifted too. Well, that's great. Alright, we'll head this way for a little bit longer, but if we don't find anything, we might have to head back. Arctos' wakefulness is not fantastic. We can see that some of the Cottonwood Creek dispersals are still kind of hanging around here, which makes sense. We're up by their old territory. I do expect in the next couple of days to see a new wolf pack move in, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, the heather herd scents are seemingly just gone. I think probably because the wind shifted and now we're not in a place where we can kind of pick up the scent spores. Oh, is that one? Oh, well that was lucky. That was really lucky. Here they are. Okay, let us get a rally going, and then looks like the herd is actually running already. Didn't really expect that, but we're still going to get that rally going. That'll be good for our stamina. That'll make it a little bit easier to kind of catch up and take one down. Oh, goodness, I don't know. I mean, once again, I always prefer to kind of like take down a cow elk, but it's harder when you just have yearlings, especially when you just have the two of them. So we'll probably just have to settle for what we can get. An elk are just like less likely to trip this time of year, it seems. So wearing them down when they're high health and less likely to trip can be quite difficult. Especially since Arctos is still a little bit injured. Might be in our best interest to go after a calf again, although Viper is clearly not going to do that. I don't know what Viper thinks she's doing. Where did she go? There she is. Oh, and there's the herd. Kind of rounding on us. I would really appreciate it if one of them would just, you know, stumble a little bit. But who knows if that's actually going to happen. Oh? Can we get there in time? Not quite. Shoot, now I've lost track of which one even fell. That's a bummer. I guess we could give them a test bite, but if they're still pretty high on stamina, they're going to do quite a bit to us. That was not the one. That was definitely not the one. And Flame doesn't really care. She's going after that one anyway. I don't think that's going to be the strategy, Flame. I don't know why I suddenly got taken out of like sprinting mode there for a second. How much food do we really need? Yeah, let's just take down a calf, I think. Just kind of hanging back to see. That's exactly kind of the thing I wanted to avoid. But thankfully it's just a minor injury. Arctos isn't low enough health to get a major injury. And maybe we could have him have a little bit of this carcass. If our pups and mate are willing to share, that is. Okay. That's not going to leave anything for us to take back to our other pups. But they're not too hungry. Our other yearlings, that is. Let's just bring what we've got back to the pups of the year. And maybe we can head out hunting again the next day. I don't know, we're getting low on wakefulness, and we're kind of falling into that cycle of going off to hunt and having low wakefulness and going off to hunt. Actually, this might help us break that cycle. If we could bring one of these fawns back, that would give food for the other two yearlings, and that would be great. There goes Viper, ever the excellent hunter. And let me try not to get kicked. Okay, it's kind of going to be hard for the mother to protect two fawns at once, which is good news for us, bad news for this poor fawn. She's chasing after Finn, and meanwhile, that's going to be it for the fawn, unfortunately. Alright, we are going to bring this back to our pups, so unfortunately for her, her loss is our gain. Okay, but we do have these sick puppies back at the rendezvous site, and they need to eat. So, come on, Oakley. Echo's just so sick. This is the point at which, if we didn't have sickness off, I would be really, really worried. That's something that Nat still has to deal with in her playthrough, since I forgot to turn sickness off for her. But, we should be good here, right, Echo? You're gonna get better? I believe in you, baby. You can do it. Oh no, I've distracted her from eating. I'm a monster. No, go back to eating. The one little heart. That's so sad. I'm so sorry, baby. Alright, seems like a good time to get some more rest. Okay, and there we get the recovery message for Echo, so she should start gaining health again instead of losing it. Viper healed a minor injury. So did Finn. Okay. This is good news for the pack. Oakley, of course, is still ill. But thankfully we do have some extra food that we can give them now that we're awake. I always appreciate having a little bit of extra food so we don't have to worry that if we don't track something down that day that they're not going to eat. Now I'm kind of anticipating some kind of predator showing up though. Oh, and sure enough. Okay, we're going to run right over there. Stop them from getting closer quite as fast. Maybe give some of our pups a chance to get into the grass. I don't want them to kind of like get away from us and go toward the grass. If we attack them quickly enough and fiercely enough, maybe they will. I didn't mean to hit the... Goodness gracious. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Kind of got away from us with the way that I accidentally hit the eagle watching button, essentially. You get out of here. You get out of here. Oh my gosh, they're on both sides of us now and I hit the eagle button again. Why is that in such an inconvenient place? Please leave. I only see 3 of our pups. Sitka, oh my gosh. Buddy, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Alright. They're running. That could have been bad. Especially with me slipping up so much on the... I'm trying to hit the 4 key, which is my button to kind of send them into the grass, and instead I'm continually hitting the T key, which makes it really disorienting and hard to tell what's going on around us. I'm glad they didn't get Sitka when he wandered off over there. That could have been really bad. It was really hard to kind of fend them off when one of them had run past the pups already and was on this side, and the other ones were still on that side. I can't imagine Arctos feels great about that encounter. Okay, do we have any more food? We do have a little bit more food to give to Oakley. And how are they doing on weight? Okay, we are getting up there. I don't suspect that we're going to get much farther than the start of the Growing Pups quest in this episode, but that's okay. In fact, we might be able to kind of sleep twice, given that we kind of have enough food for all the pups. What's our map looking like? It's not fantastic, but it's not awful either. I think I will just have us sleep twice to get some of that wakefulness back. Oh, and Oakley got better. That's wonderful. Now, none of you get sick again, please. I'm especially worried about them getting sick once we are in the Growing Pups quest, because I don't know, like with the combination of sickness and getting hungry really fast, if they could still end up starving to death as a result of sickness, even if the sickness itself didn't kill them. I haven't had that happen yet, but I feel like it could be possible. I don't know. If anybody has experience with like sickness in the Growing Pups quest, with sickness or sickness deaths turned off, I would love to kind of know your experiences. If anything, to put my mind at ease or just give me an idea of what to expect. Okay. I think now is a good time for us to go hunt again. Do we pick up any scents aside from bear? Not loving that. Okay. Where where can we go? Coyote Creek is the ones that just attacked us. So I feel like Arctos might actually want to go that way and reinforce those hexes. Just to kind of tell them, like, yeah, we're strong. We chased you off once. We won't hesitate to do it again. Stay out of our territory and away from our pups. Because he is not going to be tolerating that kind of attack on his puppies. And there were so many of them, too. There were like 5 or 6. Then again, there's 6 of us adult wolves, but I don't know. Sometimes the NPCs are better at defending the pups than other times, and so when I, as kind of like the player, see that many wolves coming at us, it's still scary regardless of how many wolves are in our pack. Thankfully, we did get a lot of help from our yearlings and our mate in that last fight, so very appreciative of them. Yeah, I'm aware we don't get an affinity gain from emotes while we're away from the den, but that's fine. Our affinity is still quite high. I'm feeling okay about this. And did we... Okay, so the last pack actually truly faded from the map, and there's still not a new one yet, which is a little bit unusual. I'm kind of used to seeing another pack swoop in as soon as the last pack dies off. There's usually at least 4 packs on the map, so... Can't exactly call this a temporary respite, though, what with Coyote Creek still attacking us. It's like they've got all this territory. Maybe they are really hoping to kind of move more to the, west? And we're in their way? Or maybe they were just looking to weaken our pack by taking out some of our pups. That's probable. Because I do see that we're sort of pushing them toward the edge of the map here. And their home hex... I don't know, I guess if I were them, I'd be a little bit concerned about this pack right on there, kind of within a few hexes of their home hex. So, understandable that they're coming after us, but Arctos is still not going to stand for it. I understand it. He isn't going to stand for it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he came over here and tried to claim this hex just to kind of teach them a lesson. And we're back in Coyote Creek territory, just looking for this herd. I don't love that, because as we saw, they're quite a large pack. But, oh look, a carcass. And it's still got quite a bit of food on it. That's good luck for us. Now, this is probably something that Coyote Creek hunted and is probably planning to come back to later. But he might not get that chance with all 5 of us. 5 of us? 6 of us here. In fact... Oh, this is a really well-maintained hex, so I don't think we're going to try to claim this one. I think we're just going to eat and go. Which, it looks like everybody is full except for Viper, so... Time to get going. Right? Yeah, time to get going. And just in time, too. It looks like a cougar was closing in on the carcass. So yeah, Coyote Creek really isn't going to have anything to come back to. That's a shame for them, because hunting a bull elk is no easy feat. Especially this time of year. But then again, looking at their known wolves, they do have a couple of older subordinates, but mostly yearlings, kind of like us, so they might actually... They're kind of in a very similar position that we are. So yeah, losing the rest of that bull elk carcass is going to be a bummer for them. Somebody over there is reclaiming what I think we just claimed. Oh, no, they're in this hex. Okay, well, we're full on food. We have quite good health, and our affinity is not too low, so let's confront them. Now, which one of these are the pack leaders? 1023M and 1410F. I'm going to name her Ire, after a character in a comic that I like, and the male is gonna be... I don't know, Buster. Okay, so both of the pack leaders are actually here. And it looks like, their probably yearlings are a lot less certain than they are about this fight. We don't want them to go after our pups. Oh. I don't have very much interesting commentary to say about the fight. We're just kind of keeping an eye on their flea meters, and our pups are still doing quite well on health, so I'm not super concerned just yet. Ire has a really pretty coat, I say as she's biting Flame. For the most part, I think we're doing quite well, aside from both of them ganging up on Arctos right there. Viper is going after the female leader of Coyote Creek Pack, and they're coming after our pups. Hey. Yeah, none of them are getting like a super good or lasting bite on our pups, and with that, we have scared them away. Okay, let's take inventory really quick of where we're at. Nobody got that badly hurt. Nobody's in major injury range. And I think I left food over here. Yep. Meat chunk. Alright. One more howl. And back to the rendezvous site. Hello puppies, we're back, and for the first time none of you are sick. Oh man, it's been one sickness after another. It must be quite the relief to have all of his pups healthy. I wonder if Coyote Creek are kind of, I was gonna say gonna be our new rivals, but I know that we also had some trouble with the Geode Pack, and what do you know? A new pack has in fact moved in, up in the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, the Undine Falls Pack. They look pretty small right now, but maybe that's because they just moved in. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, so far both the Geode Pack, well, Geode Pack has definitely been a lot more trouble for us than the Coyote Creek Pack. They just kind of showed up and tried to be scary, and we managed to chase them off, so, like twice. So I don't know if Arctos, I don't think he's gonna let his guard down and underestimate the Coyote Creek Pack, but I do think that he's still substantially more worried about the Geode Pack than he is about the Coyote Creek Pack. Because the Geode Pack has actually managed to do some damage to our pack and put us in pretty serious danger last year. Okay, well now that we're back, I think we could probably get some more rest. Okay, we're up. We just got attacked a day ago, so maybe we're okay on predators. How are the pups doing? Ah, we are almost at the Growing Pups quest. That's exciting, and a little bit scary. Oh, hi Flame! I think I've mentioned this before, that Arctos isn't really a super fun parent, but, you know, he can take a little bit of time to play with his pups. Looks like all of the other adults are kind of chasing Oakley around. Alright, that's enough fun. What are we gonna do today? I would like to reinforce those two hexes against Geode and Coyote Creek. Is there anyone that really needs to come with us? Not really. I'm just gonna whine. I'm gonna see who decides to come with us, and I'm gonna woof to make sure there's nobody immediately coming after our pups, and off we go. Oh, a buck mule deer carcass? Looks like there's a Wolverine on it. Hello, Wolverine. Could we perhaps have your food? If I ask very nicely, can we perhaps have your food? It's chasing bear around. I'm trying not to hold on long enough that I'll get actually damaged. I find if you approach them from the front and then let go right after you do damage, you don't actually take any, which is interesting and probably not intended. You can kind of see, oh wow, oof. You can kind of see how Arctos keeps getting flung back, and I don't think that's intended either, but there's some things that are just weirdness of the video game that I'm sure. You can't work out all the bugs. Hey, I'm trying to stop it from shredding bear, but I really couldn't bite it at all. Looks like we finally scared it off though. Bear, you can let it go now. Alright. Good thing we have our pups with us. I'm gonna let our yearlings and Viper have most of this. Did the Wolverine come back? We already scared you off, bud. You're not getting any more of this carcass. Goodness. Alright. Flame is full, Bear is full, Viper's full, and Arctos isn't far off. I think we're gonna head back to the rendezvous site. We did manage to mark a couple of these hexes. That one's a little bit not so great, but I don't know. When I go off and I'm like, oh, I'll just mark one more hex, and then all of a sudden we have 0 wakefulness and we're running on a deficit for the rest of the game, so I'm just gonna let that one go, despite the fact that I don't like that it's down to 20-something%, and we're gonna go back to the rendezvous site. Okay, we are back, and yeah, down to about half wakefulness, so if I'd gone for that extra hex, it would have not been great for our overall wakefulness. Looks like everybody's pretty full still, except for little Fang. Doesn't matter, the yearlings will eat kind of the excess. Flame, you just ate! You don't need to eat that too! Let Sugar and Finn have some food, goodness gracious. She's a little bit greedy. Jot that down about Flame's personality. Come on, little Fang, it's time for us to sleep. And there's a bear right there. Everybody in the grass, everybody in the grass. I'm gonna stay here just until we make sure that bear's leaving. Okay, I think maybe it was going to attack us, but then when the quest notification popped up, it left. So yes, let's proceed to the next quest. Okay, so we are now in the Growing Pups quest. We should be able to see all of our little pups grown into not so little pups. I already know all of this. Okay, we can see everybody's adult coats now. It looks like Echo has the Casanova coat. Is there a way, how do you see the pups? That's not right. I know there's a way to see the pups. I don't know what it is. If somebody could comment it, that would be great. Echo does appear to have the Casanova coat, I think. Although it's a little hard to tell with everybody moving around. Maybe if I do go into photo mode. Oh my gosh, little Fang has a little floppy ear! That's so cute! I think that's the 9F coat, but don't quote me on that. I get a little bit, when it comes to the ones that are just like numbers, I have a little bit of a struggle, but look at her little floppy ear, that's so cute. Oakley, I have no idea what coat that is. And I'm not really sure what Sitka's is either. But it's a nice coat, I like Sitka's coat, it's very pretty. I'm not even gonna hazard a guess. It's a nice coat, we'll leave it at that. So, yes, we are into the Growing Pups quest now. Ooh, gosh, our territory. Before I end this episode, I think I am gonna go off and mark a little bit more territory. Not sure, I don't really mind if anybody comes with us, but Sugar and Finn might be a good idea to bring them along. Just so we can get them some food. Okay, off to mark that one that's over by Coyote Creek, and then maybe I'll loop back around to the ones that are a little bit below our rendezvous site. Ah, delicious moose baby. Hello there, moose baby. We've got 4 of our packmates. Yeah, I think we can take down a moose calf. Have to be a little bit careful with the yearlings. I always want to make sure we're a little careful with the yearlings, but I think we'll be just fine. We also want to make sure we don't get kicked. Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! That was bad. I'm glad that we didn't get hit. I'm surprised, but glad. Once again, really surprised. Get moving, Arctos! Okay, we're good, we're good. And, well, I think Flame did get kicked. She didn't get hurt that badly. So, we can let our pups kind of, our yearlings that is, oh! Sugar's like, Flame, you are not eating this entire thing again, I am taking it. Okay, well, that has been finished off. I am gonna send Sugar back to the den, since she's got a full belly, and yeah, we still do have a bit more that I want to mark, so off we go. Okay, we're on our way back to the rendezvous site, but we have spotted a mule deer fawn, which I think would be good to take back to our pups. So Viper is going after it. I think we've got this one. Oh, maybe not. There you go. Good job, pups. They are very tired, clearly. It's interesting, about half wakefulness I find that the pack mates start to lay down at random spots quite often, which, like, we're not that tired. I know you're a little tired, but we can make it back to the rendezvous site. Gasp. Moose calf. Okay, I think we're gonna eat this one and go after the moose calf. Hopefully that's not too greedy of Arctos. We'll see. Hopefully this will be a good way to end off the episode. We'll have a moose calf, everybody will be well fed, and we can go into the next episode hopefully not starving. But we'll find out. Let's not count our meese before they hatch. That's not the saying. Okay. Whenever we're hunting moose, I do try to stay between kind of my pups and the mama moose, but not to the point where I'm gonna get kicked. It's a delicate balance. There we go. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Easy. And very slowly hop on back to the rendezvous site with this massive moose calf. And here we are. Food for everyone. Here you go, darlings. I'm standing on Sugar. There we go. Okay. And once everyone's eaten, I think I am going to sleep one more time so we don't wake up, or we don't start the next episode exhausted. Hopefully. Okay. Alright, let's get some rest. Okay, but here we are, awake again. I am going to feed the pups, I'm going to make sure that nothing's lurking, and then we're going to end off the episode, because that's about all the time that I have for today. But first, food for the pups. I don't see any predator immediately. Okay, everyone has basically eaten, and I don't see any predators, so thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope you join us next time for another episode of Rise of the Bear Fangs with Arctos, Viper, and the very playful pack. See ya!